First guest. This man apparently grew up in a haunted house, was taught by nuns in his former years, trained as a psychiatric nurse, fine arts degree, I think from Liverpool, inspired by the work of Charles Bukowski initially to pick up a pen and write, which is how I got underway as well. And this book is called Two Steps from Gravity, and it's published in the United States by Pretend Genius. This is Richard Atkinson.
This has probably been sitting on my computer for a while. It's quite a fairly recent one, I think. You can tell by the things it says. But I go to a poetry writing kind of group where you get critique and all that. I'm really glad I get it because I can't spell, I don't understand punctuation, I don't understand grammar. I mean, if I've been published, anyone can be published because I've had help from them. So just saying, you know, anyone can do it if I can do it. We're not meeting much anymore now because she's moved to Yorkshire. She's married and moved to Yorkshire, the lady that run it. But I did take this along and they did help me with it, so I'm going to read this. It's called Accidental Street Love, or ASL. ASL never happens to me anymore. I'm no longer young and handsome, just not that old, and still handsome in a certain light. My face is battered and bruised, due to drinking and getting beat up drunk. But I've heard it said that women prefer someone a bit bruised, as maybe this means they are good for the gene pool. And having survived many ills, could out-survive most who would have given up the ghost a long time ago. And who could ever fall in love with perfection, if perfection was ever a reality? Maybe it just shows that you have been through a lot and still want to wake up each morning to see sunlight, even laugh with it, and that's it. But not like it was a real human being with all their flaws. If poetry could be made flesh, maybe it would be beat up, scarred and lost. And if Bukowski had not had a beat up, scarred face, would anyone really have taken his poetry seriously? Another reason ASL never happens is that I've been barred from quite a few places, so I hardly go out at night like everyone else. But I know they will miss me, and it helps me to write indoors, getting drunk, getting lost. And this way I don't get beat up again and again. Fix my face and heart up if you can. Okay, leave the face fix. I look more handsome with it as it is. I think someone has to. I feel sorry for those who beat me up. Must be their only release. Maybe they cannot or have never tried to write poetry or fallen in love. I think most people can be sad fools. But that is half the fun when you discover some are not. And conformity is just being yourself, not like other people, but being with them instead. So as it hurts. And the hurt makes you want to write some half-decent poetry, just to fool them again. You really do or don't give a damn. Cheers. This is a recent one, it's from a few weeks back, you know, so I'm still writing. I'm not writing much at the moment because I've got a load on my plate, but I'm still writing sometimes. This is from the new season that happened recently from Newcastle. The man who normally says nout speaks out loudly at long last. Sunday midday on packed bus, people were packed in, mainly wearing black and white striped shirts, as it was the first day of the city cleansing at the local stadium. The new season of cleansing was beginning today, and they all looked like they needed cleansing. A disabled man who said little, who was balding but quite big, was just across from me. I was standing by the doors as the bus was packed. The driver would not let on a couple who tried to get on before me. But they told me I could get on. And I felt like I was in the old English horror film where someone on a hearse shouts out, "Room for one more?" And I was way at the front, near to the doors. The big disabled man who said little, but once a few years back, in the newsagent, told me the dirty angels were singing on the lawn in front of his flat, or some such thing. And I could not help but look strangely concerned about his state of mind. I also remember seeing him at the New Year's Eve parade, dressed as an angel and banging a drum with the rest of his fellow angels, banging drums as well. He opened up his white stick, folded it out, like producing a magic wand, as if about to give a lesson for us all. He had very thick glasses on, so I figured he had the stick, as he found it difficult to see now. And he tried to move further down the bus, as the driver had told me to move further back, as I think I was in the way of the mirror. I was just about to get off, but I heard an older bloke who was sort of pinned up against the bit before the stairs, opposite me, exclaim in a very worried, pleading fashion to the big disabled man with the white stick, who normally said little, in an exclamation-like way, as if pleading for truth and justice. "I am not a homosexual!" As he said this, he looked at the big disabled man with the white stick. The big disabled man with the white stick shouted loudly and pleadingly back at the older gent, "I know you are not a homosexual. Well, where did you squeeze your big bum into my groin? Area, as you squeeze bloody big buddy babe buster. I am not a homosexual." "I know you are not a homosexual," said the normally quiet big disabled man with the white stick, again as if pleading innocence. I tried to pretend I was not laughing, smiling, blurting out loud, by pretending I was having to have a bad coughing fit, and tried to turn my head away from the non-homosexual older gent and the big, normally very quiet disabled man with the white stick. And as we all got off the bus, I looked at the non-homosexual older gent, who looked well pissed off at how the end of his non-homosexual life was turning out. He looked very pleased. He looked very peeved about something or other. I think he would be hard-pressed to know what it was all about. This short life, blurt-out thing. Some of us are lucky enough to get fleetingly, and some even miss the most of the best juicy bits of. Cheers. I've had quite a bit of counselling in my time, you know, because I do suffer from, as you can tell, mental health issues and other stuff. And I've had it. So this is like having counselling with maybe a God, but God is a woman, kind of thing. It's quite an old. It's come out in my book from 2 years ago. It's called 2 Full Stops from Gravity, but it's being called 2 Full Stops from Gravy now because someone thinks it's funny. But it's underground pretend genius. But you can get that on Amazon. I haven't got any more copies left, so I'm sorry. But if you want a copy, maybe you can email. You can contact me on my Facebook page. Is Richard Headley. I don't know why I put middle name. I'm not posh, but it's Headley, Richard Headley Atkinson. But if you contact me or contact Stephen, or if you want a copy, because I haven't got any more copies yet, but I will get some more. Right, Black Lace. We sat opposite each other. Do you believe in God? She says. Well, there must be one, but only shows herself when drunk, and at the end of tether like most of the time, and has a sense of humour and pain. How long have you been afflicted? She says. Well, I don't know. It's always happening to me, like something stuck in the head. It needs to come out. Do you think you can be cured? She says. Well, hell yes, there must be some way, I say. But you always seem to drink when the affliction hits, she says. Yes, I say, the drink seems to help it come out. Like a waterfall in the spring sided by stiff moss. soft to touch like a woman's skin, smelling like a brand new sepia, sandalwood newspaper you have not read. But you know already what it says inside. Okay, she says, I get the picture. The phrases come to you upon sleeping, she says. Yeah, that's the worst time, I say. Do you ever get images in your mind, she said. Yeah, all the time, I say. Is it to do with authority, she says. Hell, everything's to do with authority, I say. You don't like authority, she says. Hell, I just ignore authority, I say. How did you feel as a kid, she says. Little, I say. Do you think your affliction comes from pain, she says. Yeah, drunk pain, love pain, grief pain, maybe they're the same pain, I say. I mean, we are the only animal that knows it will die, apart from elephants, I say. Has it to do with conforming, she says. Yeah, conforming stinks, I say. Are you worried about love, she says. Hell yes, I say love is suffering, love is pain. Love is dreaming about the same person every night, even though you've been apart for 24 years. Always dreaming the same type of dream, like she was dead and you want her back. But the dream keeps on saying the same thing, that no matter how much you dream, the love is a spent force between the two of us, while also screaming, you miss her, like you will miss breathing. So the two of you are close, she says. For 8 years we were like Bonnie and Clyde on a crime-free love spree, inseparable. Felt like fish and chips with salt and vinegar, I say. Apart from when she went over to Russia, I say. So what happened, she says. She wasn't happy with my affliction, I say. So she realised, she says. Yeah, but it had not got fully blown by that time, I say. Fully blown, she says. Fully blown, I say. So I let her go, I say. You let her go, she says. She used to wear these gloves, these black lacy gloves, I say. Black lacy gloves, she says. Yeah, I say. Cheers. We'll see this one. This came out about a year ago. But you can only get it from underground books in New York. It's $13.50. But I've printed up some copies, but I've run out of them now. But if you want a copy, just let me know via Steve or my Facebook page, Richard Headley Atkinson. It's only £3.50. But I think in New York they're selling it for $13.50. Underground books in New York. You can get it from there as well, but it's be more expensive. I can't remember when I wrote this, but I did do a lot of rewrites for it because I was putting it in for this. And yeah, I send them in, I'll keep on sending in a rewrite, which I don't normally do. Okay, just read it. B. Be indifferent to indifference. Be bipolar. Be manically depressed. Be obsessive compulsive disordered. Be transgender. Be different. Be understated. Be understated with frills. Be overdressed. Be the wearer of hats. Be stupid for a change. Be outstanding. Be misquoted. Be misunderstood. Be amazing. Be apparent. Be ethnically diverse. Be strange but true. Be working class. Be sacrifice. Be cooperation. Be spiritual growth, man. Be rebirth. Be transformation. Be reclamation. Be nobody's fool. Be this life-death cycle. Be cancer remission. Be happy to be shy. Be socialism. Be as small as a Victorian wooden computer mouse. Be as good as you get back. Be as small-minded as the worst of them. Be a love that cannot speak its bleeping name. Be a beatnik hippie punk. Be a useless drunk writing damn good poetry. Be a raging alcoholic writing damn bad-ass poetry. Be a small-time family crook law upholder. Be a city walking the ugly streets. Be a hurdler who falls over but still wins. Be a cross-dresser stubbing your toe out in the morning. Be a pirate. Be the elephant in the room. Be the book you've never read but know you should have. Be the writer of so many Tory crimes against the poorest. Be the Karl Marx brothers who don't want to join the club. Be the spark that lit the fuse that burned it all down. Be the carrier of the flame. Be the bicycle with new wheels going somewhere. Be the kid with an invisible new best friend. Be the train that never stops except at the end. Be the inner in Inner Love. Be the anti-hero kicking ass in the 60s TV series. Be the ranter of nonsense. Be the 99% getting ficked over again and again. Be the poem that you can't get out of your head. Be Kate Bush on Teen Walls in sky blue leotard. Be Johnny Lydon in Positive Anger Subliminal Hypnosis Therapy. Be Kurt Cobain in a white dress. Be one of the psychic heroes and the champions. Be an underachiever getting things right. Be in a change, be in a love, be in a grief, be in a beauty, be in a pain, be in a sadness, be in a joy. Be your inner self. Be your inner bliss. Never be brainwashed. Never be someone else. Never be the same as everyone else. Never be indifferent to indifference. Cheers. Oh, this is an old one, just about me late father. He died in 94, I think. Kind of sums him up a lot. Father, Dad, Jack, that's the title. Father, Dad, Jack. Why don't you call me Dad, son? Bang slips all bloody lost. Empty sherry bottles, fuse taken out of cheap record player plug. To prevent fuss when drunk, and he wanted it loud, loud. Below him was a pensioner he described as a living dead person. Miserable bugger, moan, moan, moan. He helped out his unemployed mental health monk, drinking chum. Only family you really have. I visit, an Irish boozing friend is there. Dad played in the tape I got him. The Singing Detective soundtrack. Laugh, almost cried. Dad laughed as well. Bellyache type laugh. Thump, thump, thump on the armchair. He said I'd be giggling about it later. People would think me crazy. The idea of Dad sitting there with his boozing pal, complaining about miserable buggers, while the corny tape played about long lost sweethearts. No life here. Those bloody horses, the bloody pools, those bloody Tories. Said whilst listening to old crooners talking about their lost true loves. It really made me laugh. Dad gave me a bar of chocolate at the end of the visit. I gave him a little money for cigarettes. In the hospital we did not really speak. He told me to keep warm up north. Still smoking like a factory. Thought me back had gone. Dad was half dead, riddled with cancer. Life out of eyes. Still moaning, there's no bloody life here. Watching the footy whilst moaning about Charlton's coaching skills. On crutches he fell on the way to the toilet. Would not let me help him back up. He died soon after. It took many visits to the doctor before they felt the obvious lumps under his armpits. He was full of it. No one wants to touch a dirty old man. The Barstools. Don't let the Barstools get you down, son. Yes, Jack. Sorry, Dad. Cheers.
Atkinson.
I pinched one of the lines from the poem, which I can't remember what it's called, but The City Walking. I did pinch that from Kim Gorrison, who helped me put the first book together, and he's okay with me doing that, so that's a major.
The floor is open if anybody wants to. Oh,